Hello friends, Lauren Wild here. I wanted to drop some astrology and Wheel of the Year deets on you guys. I am driving, and so I'm on 70, which if you've ever been on 70, it's the most boring road on the face of Earth in Pennsylvania. So I will not be staring at the camera very much, but making the most of this boring, arduous drive to my teacher's house. So, first things first, today is the last day of the astrological year. Today, the sun is at 29 degrees of Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune and the 12th house. And so, today has the way that it feels sort of like on the Gregorian calendar's vibe of New Year's Eve. Because the sun is at 29 degrees of Pisces, it has a tinge of a need for escapism and for, dreaming big dreams. The other thing to recognize is that tomorrow starts Aries season, but it's also Ostara in the pagan Celtic Wheel of the Year. It's the birth of the year. So, this is when Dagda, Danu's son, is born, and we really start to enter into the light part of the Wheel of the Year, from Ostara to Beltane to Litha, and then Lunicid or Lammas is the first celebration of the Harvest Festival, and then we start to descend back into the shadow of the year. And so since Imbolc, February 1st, we have been ascending from winter. And so, this Pisces Aries season is interesting because of the fact that, Mercury is still in Pisces. And Mercury in Pisces is at a disadvantage. Mercury likes to be very clear and fast moving, and Pisces is the ocean, and she's like, come play with me, come swim with me, right? And then, Mercury or Thoth or Horus, however you know him, gets really distracted. And so distractibility, daydreaming, tiredness, inability to focus, these are all Mercury in Pisces things. And what's also interesting is that the day after the sun moves into Aries, Venus, who is usually like the peacemaker and the diplomat of the zodiac, moves into 0 degrees of Aries as well, which, it's going to be interesting, especially for social justice movements. In a lot of ways, this Aries season, this birth of the new year, feels like we're literally moving into this new paradigm. I don't even know what to expect. And I'm an astrologer. I do. We're ushering in the age of Aquarius. That part's easy for me to understand. It's not going to be the way it was, but the world is changing. The focuses are changing. I think that after a year of survival, everyone is feeling tired and looking at their finances and looking at their investments and looking at their wounds from loneliness and isolation, and trying to figure out how to make this work. I think the next couple of years, especially with Uranus and Taurus, moving through all of our economy and our living situations, we're really going to probably start to see more people starting to try to live together or build communities, which I've been calling the Aquarian agenda for a while now. Things like intentional communities or things like that, because the more and more people are waking up to I did not come here to pay my bills and die. Right. And this is all part of the village and the divine feminine rising. People not wanting to be as toxic to the earth, not needing a white picket fence and 2 cars and babies. And, the social norm is changing to be more aligned with the earth if we're doing it right. And so, things are going to change. Living situations are going to change. Financial situations are going to change. Things like that. And that's kind of what I foresee over the next couple of years really starting to happen. Today, just so you know, the other thing, yes, it's 29 degrees of the sun in Pisces. So it is the anaretic degree. We're going to learn all things Pisces season today. But also, the moon is in Gemini, and it's sitting right on top of Mars at 9 degrees of Gemini. And so Gemini and Pisces are both mutable signs, which means that there's going to be a square tomorrow. The other thing is that on Sunday, Venus in the early degrees of Aries is also going to make a square aspect. And so what we're really working our way up to is the full moon in Libra. And so relationships, finances, self-worth, and self-esteem are all quickly going to become big players in the cosmic and collective conversation, because there's a lot of Venus and Aries and Libra, which are all, you know, this interesting relational dynamic between the me and the we. And I have an Aries moon and I have a Libra sun, and they're opposite one another. I was born on a full moon in Aries, and I can tell you right now that it's a hard thing to hold. It's a hard polarity to hold.
Ahead.
Oh, I better pay attention. My Waze is telling me. It's a hard thing to hold in the body, and so what we have to do is find the tension, the paradox, the space between what is healthy me, what is healthy individual interdependence, and what is healthy we spaces, right? So things like co-regulation. And it's interesting, you know, the more that boundaries become a source of, you know, mainstream conversation now. I've been seeing some really great stuff coming out about how we can basically weaponize boundaries, and you know, when we're not doing them from a place of love, but using them as a way to get what we want, things like that. I can tag you guys in some of the work that's being done on that. That's really helpful. But essentially, regardless, it's going to become a conversation, right? That everyone's going to start to face around either relational things. You can look to see where Libra is in your natal chart, and Aries, they will be opposite one another because they are polarities. And then, you know, we're probably going to get a little bit of a check-in period to fall of last year when Mars stationed retrograde in Aries. So it's definitely, you know, relationships, finances, and self-worth, self-esteem, your value systems, they're all going to be kind of like put on that primary shelf, making decisions. You might notice people a little bit more independent or irritable or even self-centered. With Venus in Aries, she is very, very independent. She is very headstrong, has a lot of her own choices and opinions, really just wants to do it her way. And I mean, as a very Aryan individual, I can attest to the fact that we can be very selfish. We can be self-absorbed, and basically, you know, the mantra for Aries is I am, and it's the ram. So can literally be the most persistent person on the face of Earth, creature, really, and just ram your head into something until somebody sees it your way. And that can be annoying to deal with. I have to deal with myself on a regular basis, and I love Aries people, Aryan people, but sometimes these things can be difficult, right? So what you're going to have to find is the balance, the equal energetic exchange. What is balanced, what is not, what is harmony. Only you can decide that and define that. But these are all things that are going to start coming through the collective over the next 2 weeks. Tomorrow is going to be the first quarter moon in Cancer at 1 degrees of Cancer. And that will be interesting. That's that cardinal sign that's going to be working with that Venus in Aries early degree square on Sunday. So you might feel a little combative around things like your home and your emotional security, or even an argument with your mother. Cancer rules the mother wound. All good things if you are conscious and kind and know what the fuck you want to do about it. So best wishes to you, best swimming to you on our final day of Pisces season, and I'll catch you guys later. Happy Ostara. Bye.